Ladies and gentlemen, I have been at pains on this show to try to point out to you that the tactics you use, your means of achieving your end, define your end. If you're prepared to use, for instance, Democrats, sometimes when they say the quiet part out loud, and I'm going to put it more bluntly than any of them would dare say, but they essentially would mean this at the height of the rioting and statue toppling and these types of things, is they would say things like BLM and Antifa and rioting and burning of cities and intimidation tactics and restrictions on free speech and the rigging of elections and all that kind of stuff was really only for a short period of time. They don't really want that world. It's just what they felt it was necessary to do to stop Donald Trump, who they saw as who? Adolf Hitler. We have to use these kinds of tactics in order to prevent him from being reelected. And of course he was. We have to use these tactics for the short term in order to gain power and then to create the utopian state. The problem with that should be pretty obvious to you. If you are using terrorist tactics to achieve your ends, you're a terrorist. If you're using leftist tactics to achieve your ends that are supposedly on the right, nonsense. You're on the left. The moment you start using leftist tactics, you're on the left. That's why you can't say woke right. Those things are complete opposites. They go together like oil and water. They don't mix. Woke is, by definition, leftist. It is leftist. So if you say you're on the right and you're using woke tactics or woke language or woke strategies, I'm sorry, you're not a conservative. You're an idiot if you believe that. They do not go together. Your tactics define who you are. And a lot of people seem to think that the stuff that we were seeing from the left over the course of the last really since Obama took office, but it's gained speed 2008, but it's since sort of, gained momentum. That stuff is just short-term strategy. No, it isn't. It is who you are. It's what you're about. And that's important to understand. So let me repeat. Your tactics, your strategies define who you are. Your means define your end. It tells us who you are. And it's why we have to be different. They don't respect the rule of law. We need to respect the rule of law unless those are laws, such as our founding fathers were pointing out with the Declaration of Independence, which are in conflict with God's laws. I will not acknowledge laws that are in conflict with, I don't care if abortion is legal or not. It's a damnable law anywhere that it's legal, because it's the taking of sacred human life, human beings that were made in the image of God. It's evil. So do understand that we believe, as conservatives, that our freedoms, our rights, as it were, they're bestowed upon you from above, not by the United States government, not by the British government, not by any government in the world. It is their job to acknowledge them. And when they do not acknowledge them, you have a right to defy them. That was really one of the great ideological, philosophical outcomes of the American Revolution.